Okay, here are the answers to the Level 2 calculator paper from November 2010. Question 1 is significant figures and decimal places. There should be no surprises. That's the first question. One significant figure, don't forget your value. So it's 80 minus 20 over 2 times 6. And if you work out that, you get 5. Part 2, just plug it all into your calculator carefully and you get 5.008475852. To 3 decimal places from the decimal points, 1, 2, 3, and then the 4 means that we don't round it, so it's 5.008. 3 significant figures, you start at the 5, 1, 2, 3, look at the 8, and that means we round it up to 5.01. Question 2 is about a percentage profit and loss. So if you sold it making a profit of 20%, you can either work out 20% of the value and add it on, or you could use 1.2 times 6,500, which will give you £7,800. Again, if he's made a loss of 35%, do 35% of that and then take it away. Or if you lose 35%, you've got 65% left. So you could do 0.65 times 7,800, and that should give you the same answer. In part B, 60 pence for 15 tracks, which is £9. £6.75, which means that he pays £2.25 less for the 15 tracks. And then percentage saving is new minus old, which you've already done, over old times 100, which is a 25% saving on that. Okay, question 3 is all about ratio, so always start your ratio questions in the same way. Write your initials and the ratio underneath. To work out the multiplier, you need to work out how many lots of 5 makes 20, that gives you a multiplier of 4, so it's 3 times 4 is 12 litres of red paint. For the second part, we're told they need 5 litres of yellow, so 2 goes into 5 2.5 times, so your multiplier is 2.5, which means you have 7.5 litres of red paint, which means in total, so this is an incorrect answer here, in total the orange paint is 12.5 litres of orange. Question 4 is about sequences. So we're going up in 4s here, fill in the missing numbers here, just to help to do that. And then if you continue it by doing it very carefully, you work out the 15th number is 59. And then it starts with 4, you square it and take away 1, so it's 16 minus 1 is 15. 15 squared minus 1 is 224. Question 5 is simplifying algebraic terms. This should be a banker question, really. You should be getting most marks on this, if not all of them. 2a plus 6a is 8a. Part 2, multiply the coefficients, which gives you 12. Add the indices, not forgetting that that's b to the power of 1, and you get b to the power of 4. 12b to the power of 4. Part 3, do the top line first, which gives you negative 6c divided by 2, and then that is divided by 2 is negative 3c. For part 4, make sure you write it out. It's squared, so times it by itself, which gives you 9d squared. 9d squared plus 4d squared is 13d squared. By the way, think of it, 9 lots of d squared plus 4 lots of d squared is 13 lots of d squared. Question 6, multiply out the brackets, so you get 8g minus 12, and that's for 1 mark. Be careful here, because it's not just 12g minus that, it's minus 4, I've circled it so I remembered, minus 4 times minus 3 is plus 12. So it's 12g minus 8g plus 12. Collect like terms, 4g plus 12. To factorise this, you need the highest common factor of 6. So take the 6 outside the brackets, think about what's left, and you have inside the brackets 3 minus 4h. Don't forget to write it out with the brackets and with the 6 in front. Question 7 is about averages. With this kind of question, if you're not sure what's going on with the table, you can write it out, which is actually what I did down the bottom here. The range, 6 people got 10, 1 person got 2, nobody actually got 0 or 1, which means the range is 10 take away 2, so it's 8. The most common score, most people got 10, so 10 is your mode. The median, if you write them all out, the correct number of times, take a bit of care, the number in the middle is 8, and then you can use that to work out the mean. It all adds up to 135. If you divide that by 18, because there are 18 numbers, you get 7.5 as the mean. So then on the pie chart, there are 18 people, so 360 divided by 18 is 20 degrees per person. Then you draw this fully labelled. Don't forget to label angles, label how many marks for each section, and just check that it all joins up at the end and there's no discrepancy there. Question 8 is a scatter plot question. So carefully put the last few points on. What does that correlation show? It shows that taller people tend to be heavier, or the taller you are, the heavier you are, or heavy people tend to be taller. Make common sense really. The line of best fit will go somewhere like this. It doesn't have to go through the origin in this one. And then if you draw this on the table, 1.75 and 1.65, the difference between the two is approximately 7. It may depend a little bit on where your line of best fit goes, but do not forget to show your lines and use a sharp pencil. Question 9 is a bearings question. So he goes northeast. So if he goes northeast, you must measure the angle. Don't just draw it off randomly in that direction. It's 45 degrees from north, and it's 8 centimetres. Label both of those. Then he's 450 metres from G, so that's from here, it's 9 centimetres, but we don't know an angle from G. So just put your compass at 9 centimetres and draw the arc. But it's 320, so go all the way around, nearly the whole way around, and then it's on that line there where the two cross is B. The total length of the course is work out the distance of all of these and add them up in kilometres, which is 10.5 kilometres, give or take a little bit. And then from the barn back to the start, draw a north line there and measure the angle, or you can be clever with a bit of a Z angle going on, and it should be 140 degrees. Question 10 is circles, areas and circumferences. So pi r squared for the area of a circle, and the radius in this case is 3. Do not forget to round it to 3 significant figures, which is 28.3. For the circumference, either use 2 pi r or pi d, and then either way you get 18.8 to 3 significant figures. Do not forget to round it. The total area of the label, I've broken it down into a rectangle, 2 semicircles and 1 large semicircle. We've already done the area of one of the small ones, so I've times that by 2. The area of the rectangle is 12 times 6, and then the area of the big semicircle is half pi r squared, half circle, and then add them all up, 3 significant figures is 185. For the perimeter, think about what you go around. You go around the outside of a small semicircle, then you do the big one, then you do another small one, and then you've got a straight bit. So in fact, you've actually gone the whole way around the small one, which is 18.8, plus half times 2 pi r, which is that bigger semicircle there, plus 12, which is the straight bit. And if you add them all up, 49.6. Again, do not forget to give it 3 significant figures and make sure you break it down into its little bits. Question 11 is regular polygons. It's 9-sided, so it's a nonagon. W is the exterior angle. It's 360 divided by the number of sides. X is on the interior, so if that's 40, that has to add up to 180, so it's 140 for X. Y is in an isosceles triangle, so if X is 140, these two angles will be 40, so halve it to get Y is 20. And for Z, a couple of ways you could do Z. If you know this little one's 20, the whole of that is half an interior angle, so the whole of it's 70, which means Z is 50. The other way, you know this angle here is 80 because it's two of those centre angles, and that's an isosceles triangle, so those two have to be 100, which means Z is half of that, 50. Whichever way you do it, make sure you label each angle as you find them. Question 12 is transformations. Be very careful plotting your point to start off with. If you get that wrong, the whole question goes wrong. So make sure you get a long corridor up the stairs. The line y equals x goes this way, going through the corner of all the grid squares. Or you can think of it as 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, and so on. Reflect that shape in that line and you get B over here, using tracing paper or counting squares. 5 to the left, make down. So again, pick a point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and check it with another point. The rotation, there's your centre of rotation. Again, using tracing paper or just seeing it, you can rotate it to get D there. How do you get from D to B? It is a reflection, and a line of reflection is x equals 1. Question 13 is on probability. Always give your probabilities as a fraction. It's the amount of times it can happen out of the total number of possibilities. So there are 200 raffle tickets. Fred's got 5 of them. That simplifies to 1 over 40. Mrs. Smith has got 10 of them, so she gets 1 over 20 if you simplified. And she does actually win the first prize, which means there's 199 tickets left, of which Mrs. Smith has got 9 of them, because one of them has already won. It's 9 out of 199. And Mr. Jones got 5 tickets, which means 194 of them will not win it for Mr. Jones. So he's got 194 out of 199 chance of not winning. Final question is on forming and solving equations. If it's 4 less than, it's a minus 4, not 4 minus a take away 4. If you've got 3 times as much as Beth, put it in brackets. So it's 3 brackets a minus 4. Multiply it out to get 3a minus 12. The total amount of money they've got, Angela is A, Beth is A minus 4, Carol is 3a minus 12. So if you collect like terms, you get 5a minus 16. Altogether they have 29. So write it as an equation. 5a minus 16 from part 3 equals, because that's the total we're told, 29, and solve it like you would an equation. Add 16 to both sides, divide by 5, and you get a is 9. Carol has £15, spends half of it in earrings, so she spends £7.50 on earrings. Add those up, see how you've done, and please bring it in at the beginning of term for me to have a look.